Hi, I'm Martin Clatworthy. I'm here at Brands Hatch to race in the Smart 2 Cup this weekend. In 2005 I was racing karts. I've raced karts for about 20 years, and I was on the internet one day and I spotted, I was looking to buy a new Smart, and I saw advertised on Piston Heads a Smart 2 Cup car for sale. So it was James and Paul Bates bought the car. Fantastic little thing. Reminds me of racing a kart. You don't get wet in the you don't get wet when it's already a wet meeting. You have windscreen wipers. They've got radio, no joking. It's a really cool series, and a lot of good support here and nice people.
So welcome to Brands Hatch for the Smart Car race here. We have Jake Jackson and David Moore on the front row, with Sarah Moore and James Theodore in the second row. Rasmussen and Horriman are the third row, with Cayman and Palmer the fourth row of the grid. Always great to get the inside view of a driver of why he's decided to race here. But let's get down to the nitty gritty, because the cars are on the grid and the red lights are already on here at a nice sunny Brands Hatch for the Smart 4U Cup, and away we go. We're on board with James Palmer, and Palmer gets a good start off the line here. Palmer's trying to get past that looks like Theodore with not the best start off the line as they come down towards Paddock Hill Bend. We're on board with David Moore, the man at the front, the man of the moment in Smart cars, and they're three wide through Paddock Hill Bend. The Smart cars plummet down, they head up towards Druids, and it is that man number one, David Moore, and Jake Jackson trying to go right round the outside at Druids, and he manages to hold it as they get down from Druids towards Graham Hill Bend. He's now in front, so good overtaking manoeuvre from Jake Jackson there on the man of the moment in the Smart cars, David Moore. There's number 12 car Theodore with an absolutely terrible start, covering from Tom Knight, and he's all the way down in the mid pack there as they come up through the corner side by side. David Moore not giving him an inch, absolutely on the back bumper of the black number 9 car for Jackson, and this is where Jackson's going to have to watch, because David Moore is hot just now. He seems to be dominating everything, qualifying and the races. So Jackson's going to have his mirrors full of that red number 1 car as they click off the first lap. Even in a Smart car, it's a very short, fast lap here at Brands Hatch, and then head towards Paddock Hill Bend. There goes Moore up the inside of Jackson. Can Jackson hold him off though? Is he brave enough on the outside? Yes is the answer, but has he run a little bit too wide mid-corner? That's going to let Moore up the inside as they head up towards Druids. On the inside, David Moore gets the job done, and he now leads the race here at Brands Hatch. Looking back from the bumper at David Moore, and that is Jake Jackson in the black number 9 car, and he's having a little look as they go towards Graham Hill Bend. It's going to be a lunge, but it's a lunge that works, and he gets himself alongside and ahead, but they're side by side as they head along the Cooper Straight now, and it's going to be David Moore with just that little bit more momentum. Yes, and tucks in behind them does Jake Jackson. Good move there, rather than compromise his entry speed to the next couple of corners, just tucks in and follows David Moore through with a good line. So David Moore got himself back to the front of the race, which is all important for David Moore. He's thinking about the championship this year. He is in that number 1 car, and he wants to go away with another Smart car championship as we go across the line and tick off another lap here at Brands Hatch on the Indy circuit. Cars further down the field as well. We see Sarah Moore just flashing through there, and is that Theodore making up a good few places mid-pack there, the black car. So there's Sarah Moore just going through there, and then we've got Theodore up the inside. Good move by Theodore, and Theodore goes slide up the inside of James Palmer, and we go on board with Palmer and see that happening absolutely live as we go down through Paddock Hill Bend. Theodore on a bit of a mission there, using a little bit of exit curb and a little bit more. Going to have to watch out for that, because do that too many times at Brands Hatch and you do get a row here. 4, 5, 6. Rasmussen now goes past James Palmer as well, so Palmer lost a couple of positions, maybe just a little bit unsettled by Theodore going past him at the top of Paddock Hill Bend there, but Theodore using more and more of the track there. He's going to have to watch, because the MSA are really clamping down on cars exceeding the circuit limits, so he's going to have to watch that he doesn't get a driver warning flag or worse for that. But back at the front of the race. It is Jackson and Moore. Jackson up the inside of Moore. It's not usually a passing place that late in the corner, but he tucks into the slipstream now. Can he get a good toe and possibly make another move in towards Paddock Hill Bend? You can barely see Jackson behind Moore as they head towards Paddock Hill Bend. Now will he dive towards the inside of the circuit and have a little look as they go in? Yes, it's a very late move. It's a good move though. David Moore saw that coming. Will Moore try and cut back as they go up towards Druids, or has Jackson got this covered this time? Will he go a little bit defensive? A little bit defensive? Yes, is the word there. That was a lot of defensive as they come in towards Druids, but he didn't want David Moore getting straight back past him. Every time that he's got past Moore, he just seems to pounce on him straight away again and taking the lead back. So Jackson needs to try and hold this, and he looks like he's pulled out just a couple of tenths of a second. That's enough to give him a little bit of a breathing space, but not much of a breathing space, got to say that, because the way David Moore is driving, it is very hot, and he's going to be back on the back of that number 9 car in a split second. Further down the field, there's Sarah Moore there. Sarah Moore and Theodore together now as they go through the top of Paddock Hill Bend up towards Druids. So James Theodore has had quite a good comeback drive, and that's Simon Horrobin that's just gone out a shot there. Now Theodore trying to go round the outside of Sarah Moore as they go through Druids, and we've got a retirement there. One of the cars retiring just off the circuit, making himself safe, and there goes Theodore up the inside. He thinks better if he backs out with that one. Probably best he didn't, because see a yellow flag waving there, so he's possibly just gone past a stationary. And the yellow flags, obviously stationary yellow flags, and waved yellow flags mean no overtaking. So very, very important. He didn't jeopardise his race by doing that there. So he thinks better of it. He's tucked in behind Sarah Moore. The number 12 car is subbing for Tom Knight this weekend. Tom Knight away doing other things, but Sarah Moore has now got James Theodore all over the back of her as they come through onto the straight there, and you'll just see the slipstream effect working. Look at that. Theodore closes right up in the slipstream, and he's going to have this pass done before they even get to the start-finish line, and he does that, and he has got past Moore. Moore ducks back in to try and pick up a little bit of that toe as they go in towards Paddock Hill Bend, but it is just not to be. James Theodore has had a cracking drive here, considering it was such a difficult start from him. He lost lots of positions at the start. A really good comeback drive for that black number 12 car. Simon Horrobin just that little bit further road. He's going to have to start getting a bit of a move on. He'll be getting a little bit itchy sitting here because he's seen these two coming, and they're coming very quickly as Moore has a little look at going past Theodore there. Theodore just saw that, maybe ran a little bit hot towards the corner, but didn't really compromise anything. Still has the position, and there is now a fire ensuing in that car, so that's never a good one for any driver to see his car burst into flames at the side of the track. There's number 4 and number 3, Ben Anderson in the number 3 car, and number 4 car is that James Palmer car, giving us some cracking onboard footage here this weekend from Brands Hatch. Up past one of the back markers, that looks like 303, that's possibly David Etienne. We'll come back to that one. Quite difficult to see the numbers on some of these cars, but Palmer got a little bit of a gap now over Ben Anderson as they go down through Graham Hill Bend. Very iconic corner. That has been reprofiled a couple of times. It's a lot slower than what it used to be, but it's still an epic corner with a good overtaking opportunity in towards it now. Now back at the battle at the sharp end here. The driver warning flag hanging out for one of the drivers, but up the inside comes Theodore. Theodore just gets past Horrobin, so they really have taken chunks out of Horrobin in the last couple of laps here as they go through Paddock Hill Bend. Theodore in a beautiful little four-wheel drift just over the crest of Paddock Hill Bend there, and that is absolute commitment as we go back on board with Palmer, and he's getting Ben Anderson going past him. So the number 3 car of Ben Anderson goes past, uses the curb, uses a little bit more than the curb, and flirts with the gravel trap at the bottom of Paddock Hill Bend. So it's all action all the way through the smart car grid here as up the inside goes Jackson. It's a late lunge, it's very late, he locks up and he's spun at the top of Paddock Hill Bend. You saw that on board from David Moore there, a very, very late hot lunge in towards Paddock Hill Bend, and that spins Jackson out from second place. We go on board again and relive that, and just pinches the car down low, loses control and spins out, and actually manages to recover in second position. Albeit he's lost an absolute day and an age on the track, he has still got himself in second position. So Jake Jackson will be pretty chuffed with that as he comes through Graham Hill Bend. He'll be getting himself back together, trying to get some sort of composure, because that is not a place you want to go missing in any car. You're carrying a lot of speed in there. But David Moore will be thinking a big sigh of relief as he's kind of off the leash now. But here he comes, look at that. There comes Jake Jackson. He can't keep a good man down, and that black bomber, the black number 9 car, has got it together again. And can he do the unthinkable thing here of spin and win? Can this actually happen? Because he's taking chunks out of David Moore. David Moore must be trying to control this himself at the front here, but not doing too much, as we're right into the latter stages of the race now. But if he doesn't watch, this man coming up behind him has got an absolute full head of steam on. And if David Moore doesn't watch his mirrors and play a smart game here, Jake Jackson is going to have him. There's just over 1 second, in fact it's now under a second. It's 0.8 of a second between them as they come out of Druids down towards Graham Hill Bend. Moore's playing a feisty one here. He's going to have to be smart as they come through Graham Hill Bend. He will watch his mirrors all the way, because the man coming up behind him after that big spin has managed to get it back together as they come through Surtees now. Extremely fast corner, fast left, and then they try and pull it back up, get it together for McLaren's here. And this is what it's all about. David Moore has a class acting smart car just now, but as they come onto the finishing straight, he looks like he's just done enough in this one. He goes up through the gearbox of the smart car. There'll be a big smile, lights ablaze, as he heads towards the finishing line, and out pops the checker flag for David Moore. It's a win for Moore. It's a second place for Jake Jackson. A cracking race there all the way, even if there was a big spin from Jake Jackson. What a comeback. 0.7 of a second, the finishing result from those guys, separating them. Absolutely nothing in it. Sarah Moore's going to come home in a fine third position, albeit a little bit lonely on her own, with James Theodore just a second off the back of her. Horriman finishes 5th with Ben Anderson 6th and David Acosta 7th. James Palmer was 8th with Mackie and Rasmussen 9th, and Paul Bates come home in 10th position.
Yeah, me and Jake had a really close battle throughout the race. It started off really close. Basically, Jake started on pole, I was second and Sarah was third. Jake just got ahead at the start. We managed to keep with each other all the way through the race. It was really close. Pretty much every corner, I was overtaking him or he was overtaking me. At every corner there was an overtake going on, so it was a really entertaining race. Sarah was a bit behind, and towards the end Jake went into the gravel at Paddock Hill, which caused a bit of trouble for him, but I managed just to get a bit of a lead and just calm down until the end of the race, until he caught me back up again. But it was a really good race.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter King.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new Go Racing TV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
I'm James Theodore. I'm covering for a lad called Tom Knight in the number 12 car today. I've never driven the Smarts before, so it's a new experience for me. Had a little practice session this morning, went out in the race, started second. Had a bad start because I don't know how to start these things, and went back to 8th. Got back up to 3rd and then had a little bit of a problem with the engine, so finished 4th in the last race. Starting second on the next one, had a good second qualifying apparently, so hoping to build on everything I'm learning like in the first race and have a good result really. Trying to keep the car a bit cooler because apparently I was getting a bit hot, so trying to keep it a bit cooler so it stays in order, and then so hope for a podium, hope to go one better.
David Moore and James Theodore are the front row of the grid, with Jake Jackson. It could have been spinning winning the first race, but it didn't happen, and Mackie and Rasmussen with Simon Horribin and Ben Anderson at row number 3. So the guys are just lining their smart cars up just now. Let's hope Theodore can get the good start off the line this time and possibly run with David Moore at the front. The red lights are already on, so we're just under starters orders, and away we go. We're on board with David Moore, and again we're looking backwards through the view that he has seen quite a lot today, and another bad start with Theodore as they go 3 wide into the top of Paddock Hill Bend behind them, and it's Moore who leads as they go over the top, and Theodore just has not got the knack of starting these little smart cars as we go diving down Paddock Hill Bend and up towards Druids for the first time. Lots of smoke, lots of action in the background. Sarah Moore comes charging up the inside, and Sarah Moore gets past Theodore. Maybe a little tap somewhere along the line by somebody on Jake Jackson there. Very difficult for us to actually have a grasp on who that was, and up the inside Jackson and Moore both trying to take big chunks out of each other as they go diving in towards Graham Hill Bend. But meanwhile at the front, it's that man all the way on his own, the number 1 car of David Moore. Looks like he's got this one sewn up. Simon Horriban in second place right now. Good start from Simon Horriban. And in number 6 Sarah Moore, you can see her fighting away inside that white car, trying to keep it under control as we come through Clayways and then go back onto Clark Curve. And that's 1 lap off the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit again done as they make their way down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Nice big lead for David Moore. He'll be looking at his mirrors, having a little chuckle inside that car, because that's a nice bit of breathing zone as they come in towards Paddock Hill Bend. It's not breathing zone for Simon Horriban, and up the inside of Sarah Moore goes Jake Jackson in the number 9 car. Good clinical piece of overtaking there, straight past as they go towards Paddock Hill Bend, but Moore is back up the inside by the time they get into Druids. That's one thing you've got to watch. If you do make a pass into Paddock Hill Bend, you can go in that little bit hot, and it lets the other driver get that chance to get the undercut on the way back up towards Druids, as Sarah Moore just done very well there and executed that move perfectly. Through Graham Hill Bend, the guys coming now, accelerating. Oh, Theodore running a little bit wide there. Theodore trying just a little bit too hard, possibly overdriving after that start. Just trying to overdrive to catch back up with the 3 that are battling over second place. It's Horriban, Moore and Jake Jackson, and Moore looks quite aggressive, and Horriban's going to have to watch his mirror here because Moore is right underneath it. Oh, Horriban was a little bit wide there, lost a little bit of momentum, and Moore's proud already is coming to straight, and Jackson's alongside as they go flashing past our pit wall camera, and just off the back that's Ben Anderson in the white number 3 car, the Stars and Stripes car, as there's contact at the top of Paddock Hill Bend. Have they both stayed in the track? Yes they have, but Sarah Moore and Jake Jackson very, very aggressive with each other as they go in towards the top of Paddock Hill Bend, and that was some place where you're not wanting to go missing. You don't want to turn hard left at the top of there because there's not a lot of runoff, and you're carrying an awful lot of speed as you go in towards the top of that hill. Further down the pack, that looks like it's number 451. Difficult to get a look on that one. 451 with David Acosta, but I think it was possibly Rasmussen. I went past there as Jackson already trying to go round the outside of Moore at Paddock Hill Bend. These guys will just not give each other an inch. Absolute pressure as they come up towards Druids, but it's Moore who is not cracking under the pressure. Sarah Moore keeping that second place as they come out of Druids and head down towards Graham Hill Bend. There's 451, there's DeCosta further down in the park, the lovely green car, and through, oh that's Jackson just starting to overdrive and having a bit of a wobble all the way through Graham Hill Bend as well. But David Moore driving a very good race at the front again, and he seems to do it all on the first lap of the race. He gets his head down. If he can get a good start, he knows he is quick from the word go. Warms his tyres up well on the outlap, gets him up to temperature, gets him up to pressure, and he just absolutely nails it and gets on with the job in hand. So number 1, David Moore, the man who's still leading as we're looking at the DeCosta car, which is coming down towards Graham Hill Bend just now, under a fair bit of pressure from 452, which is Silvano Caira in the blue car there. So DeCosta's not going to have an easy time here as he comes towards the quickest corner on the track. That's going through Surtees, and then they try and pull the thing back up for McLaren's. Even in a smart car, you're tramping on at a great speed there as we flash back to Sarah Moore and Jake Jackson. And are they starting to catch David Moore? Just ever so slightly. Jackson's right in the slipstream of Moore. You can barely see him behind her as they come towards the flag point, and there's a black flag shown for somebody there. Now we need to try and get a little notification of who that black flag is for as they go through the top of Paddock Hill Bend. Obviously the flag is shown to the entire field with a number from the race control there, so somebody has been black flagged. We'll try and get that back too, but meanwhile the battle rages as they come down through Druids, and David Moore is starting to get caught. Now is he just backing off to let them get a chance and get a little bit closer, or has David Moore got some sort of an issue? through the Graham Hill bend they go, and look at that, Jackson gets a good run on Sarah Moore this time, and he's on the inside and he's through well early as they go along the Cooper Straight there, slides across the front of Sarah Moore, while Sarah Moore have a little shot as they come back up into the tricky right-hander, which kind of climbs the hill just as you go over the crest of it. There the track starts to drop away down through Clearways and comes back towards you as you come through Clark Curve and back onto the track. But Sarah Moore will be getting that big toe, the big slipstream effect will really be coming into play for her as she makes her way in towards Paddock Hill Bend. Will she dive out from behind? No, Jackson has a nice big comfy lead as he goes over the top of Paddock Hill Bend this time, and he has got his eyes once again set firmly on the back of that number 1 car, the red car, which is just ahead of him, just up the road there. Looking back from David Moore, that is Jake Jackson in the number 9 car, Sarah Moore the white dot further away in the distance. But we go back and see DaCosta flying past, and there was a Theodore all the way down there. James Theodore's having a bit of a nightmare in this one as he goes through the first corner. Theodore currently sitting in 7th place, so not the best run for him in this race after not the best run in the first race either, but it's his first time in a smart car. He did say that during the interval, so it'll be, hopefully he gets another chance to get back in this car. But Moore makes a mistake as he goes through McLaren's there, and that's going to cost him dearly. David Moore makes that little mistake, and that's all. It's just a little mistake, and if you get done going on the straight like that, you can see Jake Jackson starting to crawl up on the back. I think he's too far back to have a lunge. We saw what happened in the last race when he has a lunge from that far back. It usually ends in tears in the gravel trap at the top of Paddock Hill Bend, but he tucks in. He's very clever. He's got a good run through as they go up towards Druids, and there he goes up the inside. That's a little bit too late, but has he got alongside? Yes, he has got alongside. David Moore didn't defend too much there, and Jake Jackson hits to the front in this second race at Brands Hatch Indy Circuit here in the smart cars just now. He's managed to hold off because every time he got past in race 1 to lead, David Moore was straight back on top of him, and he took the lead straight back. So this time, can Jackson hold it? They're side by side along the Cooper Street, but no, Moore scythes back and takes the lead and stamps his dominance all over this race. Locks the inside front wheel there as they come up the hill as the car goes a little bit unloaded, and Jake Jackson has got this all to do again here as we're now well and truly into the second part of this race. He has had a sniff of the lead. Can he capitalise and have a really good shot at having a win here today at Brands Hatch on the Indy Circuit, or is David Moore going to make this another double and take it 2 out of 2? We will find out in the next couple of laps as they go down Paddock Hill Bend, up Halewood Rise, in towards Druids, and there's a back marker in front of him, and that's really going to get in the way of David Moore here as Jake Jackson closes up mid-corner. Might lose a little bit on the exit there, but he's a good, nice, smooth racing line as they come down again towards Graham Hill Bend, and having a dive off the racing line to get past the 4-5-4 car of Charles Gounod there. We remember Charles from some escapades at Donington Park earlier on in the season, and good to see Charles making his way out of Sarah Moore's way there as she come along the Cooper Straight as well. So a good bit of driving there, but Charles not getting in the way of leaders. And there, flash back to number 3, there's Ben Anderson in the Stars and Stripes car. Ben Anderson doing a sterling job here, holding off what looks like Mackie and Rasmussen as they head along Cooper Straight, and just behind them is that Theodore in the black car. It is James Theodore just behind them. Is either Theodore or Horrobin. We'll try and get a better look as they come through this time, as they come through McLaren and on towards the start-finish straight. But as we say, laps definitely winding down now in the Smart Car Challenge here at Brands Hatch. Anderson has got his mirrors full of Rasmussen as they come back down towards Paddock Hill Bend. In the distance behind them, that looks like it is Theodore in one of the black cars, but we follow these two. The Stars and Stripes number 3 car gets a good line down through Paddock Hill Bend, and he holds it as he makes his way up Halewood Rise. But we're back on board with David Moore now, because this is where it counts. This is the one for the race win. Up towards Druids again. Jackson dives towards the inside. He's on a big look, and there's contact at the apex of Druids. And has that damaged either car, or have they both managed to get away with that? It was another very, very big late lunge in that smart car. He took a nice big pop shot at the back of number 1, if you like, but David Moore will be now chuckling because he can see in his mirror that Jackson has just tailed off, and that looks like it's going to be just enough of a lead for David Moore as he comes through the last couple of corners. There's a few back markers ahead of him, but it really these guys are not going to come into play. David Moore has been Mr. Smart Car once again at Brands Hatch. He has shown everybody here that he has the dominant speed and qualifying as he comes past our static camera, and it's David Moore comes up to take a fine checkered flag. Jake Jackson in a fine second place, and it's going to be Sarah Moore who comes home in third place. Ahead of Mackie and Rasmussen, we see in fourth position Ben Anderson, Simon Horrobin. James Theodore comes home in seventh place with David Acosta, Silvano Caira and James Palmer in 10th place.
Alright then. I'll be on TV. Yeah.
Race 2, I got at the start I got pushed off at paddock, and then allowed Simon Hovland and Sarah Moore to come through, and pretty dirty race, but managed to slip up back to second.